Hi Sam. Today, we're going to learn the German verb.
Erzählen.
Hi Alex. What does that mean?
Erzählen.
Means to tell or to narrate. It's commonly used when you're sharing a story or information.
So, it's like when I tell a story to my friends.
Exactly. The most common meaning is to tell, but be careful. Sometimes, learners confuse it with
Erzählen.
and think it means to explain, which is not quite right.
Got it. Can you tell me more about how to use?
Erzählen.
Sure. It's a regular verb, so it follows the standard conjugation pattern. In the present tense, you say
Ich erzähle. Du erzählst.
and.
Sie, es erzählt.
For the past tense, you would say
Ich erzählte. Präteritum.
and in.
Perfekt.
It's.
Ich habe erzählt.
So, what about telling someone to tell a story?
Great question. You would say
Erzähle.
for the imperative form.
That's helpful. What's the origin of?
Erzählen.
Erzählen.
Comes from Old High German, specifically from the word,
Erzählen.
which meant to relate or to tell. It has evolved over the centuries.
Interesting. I love learning about the history behind words.
It adds depth, doesn't it? The meaning has remained quite similar through the ages, focusing on storytelling and narration.
Can you break down the word for me?
Of course. The word
Erzählen.
consists of the prefix, the root,
Zählen.
and there's no suffix here. The prefix often indicates a completion of an action, while
Zählen.
means to count. So, you can think of it as counting or narrating something to completion.
That makes sense.
Now, let's look at some similar words. Words that share the prefix include
Erklären.
which means to explain, and
Erleben.
meaning to experience.
And what about words with the root?
Zählen.
You have.
Zählen.
Itself, meaning to count.
Abzählen.
Meaning to count out, and
Anzahlen.
which means to make a down payment.
That's really cool. What about the opposite?
For opposites, you might consider
Verschweigen.
meaning to keep a secret, or
Vergessen.
meaning to forget.
Can we practice speaking with?
Erzählen.
Absolutely. Imagine you're at a party, and someone asks what you did last weekend. You could start with,
Ich habe meinen Freunden eine Geschichte erzählt.
So, I would say,
Ich habe meinen Freunden eine Geschichte erzählt.
right.
perfect. Now, let's say you're at work and need to explain a project. You could say,
Ich möchte das Projekt erzählen.
I see. How about this?
Ich möchte über das Projekt erzählen.
exactly. Great job. Now, let's think of a travel situation. You could say something like,
Erzähl mir von deinem letzten Urlaub.
Erzähl mir von meinem letzten Urlaub.
almost. It should be,
Erzähl mir von deinem letzten Urlaub.
I'll remember that. Are there any tips for remembering the gender of
Erzählen.
since
Erzählen.
is a verb, it doesn't have a gender. But if you think of a noun like,
Die Erzählung.
which means the narration, it's feminine. You can remember that because stories often have a female voice in many cultures.
That's a clever way to remember.
Now, let's talk about usage notes.
Erzählen.
Is generally informal, used in everyday conversation. Typical collocations include
Eine Geschichte erzählen. Von etwas erzählen.
and,
Jemandem etwas erzählen.
I see how it fits in different contexts.
yes. Just be cautious with similar words like
Erklären.
and,
Berichten.
which mean to explain and to report, respectively. They can be confused with
Erzählen.
Can you give me some example sentences?
sure. Here's one.
Ich erzähle dir alles, was ich weiß.
Meaning, I'm telling you everything I know. Another.
Gestern erzählte ich eine lustige Geschichte.
Translating to yesterday, I told a funny story.
Those are great. How about another?
Here's one.
Die Lehrerin erzählt den Schülern eine spannende Erzählung.
Which means, the teacher tells the students an exciting story.
I love how those sentences flow.
Let's do a quick recall check. First question, what does
Erzählen.
mean?
To tell or narrate.
Correct. Second question, what's the imperative form?
Erzähle.
Yes. Third question, where does
Erzählen.
come from?
Old High German.
Right again. Fourth question, what is the past participle form?
Erzählt.
Exactly. Last question, can you give me an example sentence with
Erzählen.
Ich erzähle dir eine Geschichte.
excellent, Sam?
Thanks, Alex. I feel like I understand.
Erzählen.
So much better now.
I'm glad to hear that. Remember, storytelling is a big part of communication. Keep practicing, and you'll use it effortlessly.
I will. Thanks for the encouragement.